Please remain standing for the National Anthem of Sri Lanka and the National Anthem of Australia. Thank you. Please be seated. It is my honor to invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Australia, Professor Seth Kunin, to the podium to deliver the official welcome.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find my right page in the script, so thank you very much for welcoming me. This is my first visit back to Australia. No, my first visit back to Sri Lanka in 2 years. In fact, it's the first country that I have come to after 2 years of being kept in Australia or Western Australia due to COVID restrictions. So my last trip, just about 2 years ago, was to visit SLIIT and attend the Curtin graduation. And my first visit after COVID, or after that part of COVID, is to visit SLIIT again. And for me, that's a really symbolic aspect, because for Curtin University, one of our most important partnerships is our partnership with SLIIT and with our Curtin students here. Now, I just want to confirm with the MC that I meant to do the commencement speech here. Yes, okay, because sometimes I wasn't aware of how the script worked in the beginning. So I'm now meant to do a speech for you. And in Curtin University, one of the things that we're looking at is, should we be continuing to do lectures? Should we be continuing to speak at students for 50 minutes? And of course, I'm going to speak to you for 50 minutes now, so please be prepared. But the answer, of course, is that we don't do that anymore. Now we try to say, let's find ways of making students the center of the learning rather than the lecturer. So I shouldn't be delivering an address to you. You should be delivering an address to me. You should be leading it. And that's how we're going to do this. So if you look under your chairs, you'll see that there is a pad. And I'm going to ask you all to write your own commencement speech. Now, you're not going to actually find one. But I do want you to think about the speech that you would write rather than the speech that I would write. But it's a little bit unfair to give you a homework assignment without giving you the parameters of that homework assignment. So let me give you some parameters. I looked on the internet to find out what are the key things that you should put into a commencement speech. And it said, one of the websites said, you should follow Shakespeare. Now, does everyone here know who Shakespeare is? Yes? That you can answer. Yes? Shakespeare is a great British playwright who lived 500, 600 years ago. And he wrote really interesting plays in all sorts of different ways. Some of his plays were comedies, some of his plays were tragedies, and some of his plays were histories. And I thought that if you're asking people to write a speech, maybe the key themes that they should be thinking about are comedy, tragedy, and history. And that's the way to think about what you should do when you write a commencement speech. So if I was going to write a commencement speech starting with comedy, what would I do? What is Shakespearean comedy? Well, we all know that there's a lot of funny things that go in our lives, a lot of strange things, a lot of things that we didn't expect. And we've all been living through COVID. We've all had to do very different things. We're living in an odd world. So perhaps that's the comedy. But actually, if you look at Shakespeare, what you find is that his comedy is something different. His comedy is about people taking on different roles, trying out doing different things, pretending to be different people. And the humor comes from people bumping against other people who are also pretending and trying to do different things. And I said to myself, what does that have to do with all of these graduands who are sitting in front of me? But the truth is that we all don't just have one role. In life, each one of you is going to have to do all sorts of different things. Already in life, you've begun to do different things. You started out as a child of a set of parents. You went to school and had to take on the role of being a student. No doubt with your friends, you have a different role. When you came to SLIIT, you had to take on, and Curtin University, you had to take on the role of being a university student. So those are all different roles, and you have to try different things. But even more, as you go through life, you're going to have to be able to be flexible, to say, I'm going to do different things. I'm going to try to be entrepreneurial. I'm going to try to do different things. I'm going to try to open a new business. I'm going to try to lead these people. I'm going to try to do really interesting things. These are all the different roles that you might take on as you go through your life. And of course, in comedy, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. You have to be able to not take yourself too seriously. And sometimes when you take on a role, you're going to find it doesn't fit you, and then you have to do something else. So in your speech, when you write what you want for the future, when you write, what does this commencement mean to me, what you need to ask is, what are the roles that I might take on? What are the roles that I can't even imagine I may take on? I need to be flexible enough to take on those roles as I go into the future. And we all know that the world of work, the world of life is changing so dramatically that those roles will all be dramatically different. But we need to be flexible and comfortable to take on different roles. So the second aspect of Shakespeare is tragedy. Now, in tragedy, what you find is the hero, and we're all the heroes of our stories, have to take on different challenges. They're beset by all of the cruel things in the world. They're beset by all of the things that they have to struggle against. And tragedy, I think, is something, and challenge is something that we're all aware of. All of you have had to study in this time of COVID. All of you have had to study online. All of you have had to do things in your university careers that you could never have expected. The world has had to do things differently because of COVID. And that's a challenge. It's a tragedy. It's something that's an obstacle that we have to face. But it's not the only obstacle. We all know that the world is facing amazing challenges about global warming. And many of you are engineers. And if you're engineers, then in your future of work, you're going to be directly being challenged by how do we address issues of global warming. And the people who are studying IT will have other types of challenges to think about the sustainability of the world in which we live. That's a huge obstacle that we all have to face. And then we look around us in the world and we see different types of wars, we see conflicts between different ethnicities, we see all sorts of challenges in society. We see democracies having to challenge what does it mean to be a democracy in this day and age of information and false information. So we have all of these challenges, and these are the kinds of things that you need to think about. The challenges are what creates potential tragedy, but if you can face those challenges, if you can find ways of addressing them creatively, you can turn a tragedy into something more positive, something that is transformative. And that's when we come to the final bit of Shakespeare, which is history. He wrote all sorts of plays that were focusing on great leaders, kings, and other powerful people as they did things that were historic. Now, in our histories, in the history that you're going to write in your speech, in your commencement speech, it's not about some king. It's not about some president. It's about each one of you. Each one of you has the potential to make history. Maybe not history for the world, but certainly history for yourself. You have to find a way of finding a path through life that gives you meaning. Find a way, a path through life that you are enabled not only to transform your own life, but also to transform the lives of those around you. That's how we create history. We don't create history by being presidents. We create history by working within our own sphere, by trying to move beyond it, to transform it, and to challenge it, but also to recognize that we need not only to work for ourselves, but work for others. So in your lives, you're going to face tragedy, you're going to face challenges, but you're also going to have to have the ability to laugh. You're going to have the ability to laugh at yourselves, to laugh at your situation, and by laughing, change what you're doing, change the world around you. And through that, that's how you make history. And I certainly believe that every Curtin student here has the opportunity to be a transformative person here in Sri Lanka and in the world. You will all make history. And I think that that's something you need to think about as you write your commencement speech. So my challenge to you is to go out and live a Shakespearean life. A Shakespearean life means a life that's elegant, a life that's transformative, a life that's humorous, and one that is meaningful. So all of you go out and be Shakespearean, and congratulations on your hard work, the work that you've put in online and face-to-face, the work that you've put in relating to your colleagues and working with your teachers, because that's what's going to allow you to be a significant Shakespearean person in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Seth. It is my pleasure to invite the Dean, Faculty of Computing, Professor Chandimala Jayawardena, to the podium to introduce our first group of graduates. I invite Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Australia, Professor Seth Kunin, to present the awards.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it is my honor to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Science, Computer Systems and Networking. Kuruppu Arachchige Parami Pinsara. Rasnayaka Mudiyanselage Sandali Tatsara Rasnayaka. Galle Gihan Kaushalya Patiranage. Ranepura Hevage Rashmi Dulanga Sandaruani. Vihanga Salinu Palihakkara Amarasekara. Matisha Kalani Sirivaddana. Mavanana Heva Gavisha Udayanka. Sangavi Jnanasegaram. Kollure Appuhamilage Timesha Madhubani Kollure. Nirodha Aroshi Van Kulenberg. Maljit Chandeepa Ranga Bandara. පමුදිත පසිඳු ගාල්ලගේ ඩිල්ෂාන් ඔසඳ කාර්යවසම් මෙතුන් ජයසේන පුලුණුවන් යසිසුරු රුබසින් ජයසේකර in absentia විජේසූරිය ආරච්චිගේ නෙලිත විභාවිත් විජේසූරිය Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my honor to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Science Computing. Nitarshanan Ganeswaran. Mirihana Arachige Jude Abhita Dhananjay Pereira. Sureshintiran Sendoran. Hiranta Nuan Bandara Kurupu Mudianselage. Ruan Patiranage Don Ranul Pesara de Silva. Sulakshan Didula Kodituaku. Namal Tisara Serasingha Patirana. Sharuka Sandipana Amarasekara Rajapaksha. Ovini Dilrangi Alugge. Vikramasuriage Bhagya Malaka Kularatna. Majuana Kankanamge Tarusha Chanakami. Danushka Kavinda Saturu Singha Arachige. Jayasundara Mudalige Pumudita Ishanka Jayasundara. Sarangan Satya Vadivel. Gunasilan Divyaragavi. Bamina Handandige Tanishka Nilandit Piris. Arachi Mudianselage Vidarshan Aditya Ratnayaka. Maheshi Shachinta Leuke Bandara. සමිඳු භාෂිත ජයසිංහ ගුණවර්ධන. විලීල ප්‍රැන්ස්කිකුගේ ඇන්ටන් චරිත සෝවිස්. අප්පු හැන්නදිගේ ඩොන් තියඩෝ නවීන්ඩි සිල්වා. නානායක්කාරවසම් හරිජ්‍යවත්තගේ තිරංජය. සිනෙත් කෝජිත මදනායක. වර්ණකුල සූරිය ඉච්ඡම්පිලිගේ තිනුර මදුෂාන් ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ. සේනානායක ආරච්චිගේ සුමිර හසන්ත සේනානායක. අබේසිංහ මුදියන්සේලාගේ කවීන් නිර්මාල් පොද්දල්ගොඩ. කුමාරගේ දොන් කලිඳු හිතයිෂ. එතරුඩ සිල්වා වික්‍රමරත්න. ඇන්ජෙලා රක්ෂණා රවීන්ද්‍ර රාජා. ඔප්නි ටෙනීෂියා කමලේන්තිරන්. නිකිටා ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ. ෂෝන් මයිකල් වයිට්. බාලසූරියගේ ඩිහාන් අනුප පෙරේරා. අමාදි උත්පලා අබේවික්‍රම සෙනරත්. පනාගොඩගේ දොන් මිතිල වාසුර පනාගොඩ. තරුවි මතංගවීර. කුෂාන් සංක ජයසේකර. තිවංකා නිෂාදි වික්‍රමසේකර. නම්මුනි කංකානම් විදාන මහදුරගේ නෙත්මිනි නිසංසලා. කන්නංගර කෝරාලලාගේ ඩොන් ටිෂාන් ගැඟුලැල් විජේකෝන්. මොහොමඩ් අබ්රා ජින්නා. අත්තනායක මුදියන්සේලාගේ උදානි අනුත්තරා සේනාරත්න. කවින්සා උත්පලී කුඩා ගොඩගේ. රාජපක්ෂ මුදියන්සේලාගේ දිනෝදි දිව්‍යාංජනා රාජපක්ෂ. යෝගරාජා සංජීව් ගන්ති. රණසිංහ මුදියන්සේලාගේ හර්ෂණ එරංග සමරසිංහ. රාජපක්ෂ වික්‍රමාරච්චිගේ දෙව්මි උදයනා රාජපක්ෂ. නානබි ආරච්චිගේ බිනොරි විහංගා පෙරේරා. දිව්‍යාංගා චතුරංගි සමරවික්‍රම ලොකු හෙට්ටි. මිනුලි තිලංකා ලොකු ලියනගේ. තරින්දා නිශාවි රත්නායක. මොහොමඩ් යුස්රි මොහොමඩ් අම්මාර්. ශ්‍රී ස්කන්ද රාජා තුෂාන්. සෙව්මිනි දනංජි ගුණවර්ධන. දිසානායක මුදියන්සේලාගේ ඔසුර රොනත් දිසානායක. මොහොමඩ් නෆීල් නුහුමාන්. අශ්වින් කනග. අච්චුතන් සිවලිංගම්. හරන්කහ විදානෙලාගේ ඔෂාන් විකසිත් චන්ද්‍රපාල. විජේන්ද්‍ර රතීෂ්. දනුක නවීන්ද්‍ර බුලත් සිංහල. කොම්පිටි කංකානම්ලාගේ තනුරි දිලාරා පියරත්න. මොහොමඩ් හසාන් මොහොමඩ් නිම්රාන්. In absentia, Tissakutty Arachchige Don Asan Hasinidu. Deputy Vice Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Bachelor of Science graduates.
Thank you, Professor Chandimal Jayawardena. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Saman Thilakasiri, the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, to introduce the Bachelor of Engineering graduates.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering, Civil and Construction Engineering. The following graduates, all receiving honors. Lakshan Harindra Bandara Bijiratna. Patinalage Sachini Charuni Sarat Chandra. Babikaran Subramaniam. Mohammed Fayaz Mohammed Hamdi. Himat Mitsara Sirimevan Veradu. Mohammed Mujahid Amindi. Ayesha Amin. Amunkama Gedara Hasita Ranavira. Manimelwadu Tushan Malinga de Silva. Levandu Vitanage Menuka Lakshita Vitanage. Kailian Kirinathan Sayanath. Marsing Arachike Dilshan Jeevendra Marsing. Sivaramnayan Selvanathan. Kajanayaka Mudyanselage Tarindu Saumya Kajanayaka. Hitusha Ravishan Jayasingha Ratnayak Mudyanselage. Dampella Kamarachike Sasanjit Saktiman. Kalunayaka Arachike Sugitan Udayanka. Badde Lenarage Don Heshan Amesh. Manuel Waduge Samira Shanika Paris. රතු බබරැන්දගේ රොනාලි මෙත්ලා. Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering. The following graduates all receiving first class honors. Bevanta Udeepa Abesirivardhana Vijayasinghe. Hasisa Eshan Durage. Mohammed Ismail Faisal Sadiq. Charuka Shavin Mario Pereira. Praveen Sachinta Alvis Virakodi. Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering. The following graduates all receiving honors. Udara Herat Bandara. Kulanga Yasas Mas Koral. Wahala Tantrike Senal Ranjit Pereira. Paharun Nilaf Mohammed Pirsan. Bastian Korlage Parmi Lakna Rodrigo. Jivindu Pankaja Ranavira. Rosirge Tiluka Harvin Pereira. Susevge Sharon Kalpa Emmanuel Pranandu. Arshana Chaturtha Sonadala. Akila Indivara Kulatunga. Ganeshan Dinesh. Lahiru Senasinghe. Don Ranul Patmila Sriman. Merinyage Don Isal Andil Saparamadu. තෙලින භාග්‍ය ශානක සචින්ත යටිගම්මන රාජපක්ෂ පතිනලාගේ තනුර දමිත්‍ර රාජපක්ෂ ඔමිල ගත්සර විධානගේ නැලිකමගේ කෝඩිත ශ්‍රී මාලිත බණ්ඩාර ගලිකමු පාලපෝගේ ප්‍රමිත් දීප්ත මෙන්ඩිස් ඉසුරු අනුශංක දහනායක තිහාන් විජිත් ටොන් පෝල් Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical and Electronics Engineering. The following graduates, all receiving first class honors. Pambara Arachike Saliya Jayanath Abhyavardhan. Malawi Herat Mudianselage Lahiru Randimal Herat. Achala Udayanga Kumaravadu. Syed Hasim Mohammed. Patiyage Ransala Pravinda Dias. Nisal Vihan Kalpage. Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following graduates of the Bachelor of Electrical Engineering. The following graduates, all receiving honors. Walpita Gamage Hinathan Ravi Maduranga. Dilshan Ruchiranga Ekanayaka. Mohammed Ashik Mohammed Mansoor. Rumeshikat Chatuni Kumari Pallevela. Pasindu Lienegi. Meddage Shinal Akshita, Pereira. වීරතුංග ආරච්චිගේ යසිරු නිලුපුල් වීරතුංග. Hanifuddin Maulana Amiruddin. Tisura Dinusal Suryarachi. Don Shanaka Kaushal Jakodi. Analla Devage Prabodhita Isuru Abhishek. Katupallage Shayani Marishi Fonseca. In absentia, Ali Abdullah. Deputy Vice Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Bachelor of Engineering graduates.
Thank you. That concludes the presentation of graduates for this ceremony. I now invite Deputy Vice Chancellor International of SLIIT, Dr. Athulapithiga Larachi, to the podium to introduce this ceremony's prizes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present recipients of awards and prizes. I invite Professor Seth Kunin, Deputy Vice Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Chancellor, Professor Lalit Gamage, Vice Chancellor, and Professor Nimal Rajapaksa, Deputy Vice Chancellor, to join the presentation party. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Nisal Vihan Kalpage. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Mechanical Engineering. Praveen Sachinta Alvis Virakodi. I'm glad to announce that Praveen has received a full scholarship for PhD from Curtin University in recognition of his undergraduate research. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Civil and Construction Engineering. Sivaramya Selvanathan. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Science, Computing, Software Engineering. Nikita Fernando. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Science, Computing, Information Technology. Danushka Kavinda Satrusingha Arachige. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present the following recipient for the Curtin Award for Excellence in Bachelor of Science, Computer Systems and Networking. Pulunuan Yasisuru Rubasin Jayasekara. To present the Curtin Alumni Awards, I invite Curtin Alumni Sri Lanka Chapter Vice President, Mr. Nisanka Seneviratna, and Assistant Secretary, Mr. Janith Vijayasinghe, to join the presentation party. I present the following recipient for the Curtin Alumni Sri Lanka Chapter Award for Engineering. Nisal Vihan Kalpage. I present the following recipient for the Curtin Alumni Sri Lanka Chapter Award for Computing. Sevmini Dharanji Gunawardena. That concludes the presentation of awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Atula. It is my pleasure to introduce Vihan Kalpage to speak on behalf of the graduating class. Vihan graduated today with the Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical and Electronic Engineering degree with a first-class honors. Please welcome Vihan to the podium.
Good afternoon. Chancellor, SLIIT, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Vice Chancellor, SLIIT, Professor Lalit Gamage, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Global, Curtin University, Australia, Professor Seth Kunin, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, SLIIT, Professor Nimal Rajapaksha, Deputy Vice Chancellor, International, SLIIT, Dr. Atula Pittigalarachi, Deans of Faculties, Directors, Heads of Departments, members of the academic, administrative, and supporting staff, alumni, my dear parents, and my fellow graduates. It is indeed my greatest honor being the valedictorian speaker for the class of 22. All the proud graduates gathered here today have persevered and sacrificed the past years to earn a degree from a world-renowned university, the Curtin University, Australia. It is without doubt that this journey was only possible due to the immense support I received from my beloved parents, without whom I would not even have had the chance of attending this prestigious institution, which I believe all the proud graduates here would share the same sentiment with me. I would also like to take this an opportunity to thank all our teachers who spent time, effort, and energy to ensure we develop a solid foundation, which was the very reason we are able to reach so far in life. Our beloved faculty members made sure that the young, fresh students were transformed into professionals. Furthermore, on behalf of all our graduating class, I would like to thank the International Programs Unit at SLIIT for their commitment and support throughout the past years in ensuring that all our issues were addressed and resolved. I would also like to thank all our supporting staff members in campus, from the ladies and gentlemen who made sure the campus is kept clean, to our beloved security staff members who ensured that our times in campus were safe and secure, to all the other members of the academic, administrative, and supporting staff for their time and commitment to make sure our learning experience was uninterrupted throughout the past 4 years, even amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. The past 4 years was tough, no doubt, but it felt a bit less challenging and a bit less long due to the friendships we've grown and the families we've made with people who were once strangers. To put everything into perspective, let me recall to my fellow graduates. 4 years back, in the month of February, a bunch of fresh young students, strangers, gathered in this very auditorium for the orientation of our program and listened to academic and administrative staff members saying, "You will be graduates in 4 years." And my dear friends, here we are, 4 years later for our engineering colleagues and 3 years for our computing colleagues. In the very same auditorium, seated in front of an esteemed gathering, we hold a degree in our hands and pride in our hearts. We have made it. The past 4 years, I believe, has taught us more than the content of all the lectures we had combined. We've grown from once high school students to now emerging professionals with the capabilities and capacities as expected by the industry. Curtin has transformed us to make an impact of excellence, both for our personal gain and for the benefit of all those around us. Seated in front of me is not just a bunch of graduates, but one family of graduates who shared experiences, shared our lifelong secrets, and also things that are most often gone unseen, such as sharing our packets of lunch during our long days. We have basically shared our whole lives in the past years. And if anyone was to ever ask what my most memorable experience as an undergraduate was, it would for sure be the collective experiences we've had as a family, which I believe none of us will ever forget. From roaming the campus premises during our free times, to bunking lectures just to have chats with our friends, staying late during the study weeks and studying together to somehow learn all the lecture content in 1 week. A special thanks for sure should be given to Google, our common friend, who gave us an uninterrupted support throughout the past 4 years. It is hard not to recall the nights we spent on campus preparing for events and functions. Students with a common goal, a common objective, gathered together to ensure that the events we did were beyond expectation. And during the nights, sharing good old ghost stories on campus just to keep ourselves entertained throughout the sleepless nights. I recall as if it was yesterday, the SLIIT RoboFest 2019, where we worked the whole night through and just had a small nap on this very auditorium floor, later to be woken up by our kind cleaning staff members just 10 minutes before the commencement of the event. This for sure was just a glimpse of the many memories we've shared, and I can say for sure that we have had the privilege of spending some of the most memorable times of our lives on campus. Being a student representative from my second year onwards, later to become the president of the Faculty of Engineering student community, representing 1,700 plus students of my faculty, I have personally had the privilege of working closely with the students, the academic staff, and administrative staff members alike. And I can guarantee that each and every memory that I have had working as a representative during the past 4 years was extremely memorable. COVID-19 for sure did disrupt our daily activities, but it did not ever break our friendships. Us folks who stayed late at campus started to work together through Zoom, had long chats through WhatsApp, and managed to share life experiences nevertheless. COVID did try to break us apart, but we, the graduating class, showed COVID that we aren't that easy to break apart. We have shown our capabilities and strengths to all those who have challenged us. And it was in fact my dream to see all my friends today in graduation, to share today's experiences with all those who we shared the past years with. I would like to take this an opportunity to wish all the students that are yet to graduate the very best on behalf of the graduating class. Concluding my speech, I would like to recall to my fellow graduates, we are leaving this auditorium today not as students, not as undergraduates, but as professionals, professional engineering and IT graduates of Curtin University. Hence, it is our duty and responsibility to uplift the name of our alma mater, to keep our standards high while ensuring we stick with the Curtin values, which you might have noticed printed on the back of our Curtin student IDs, to make sure we hold integrity, respect, courage, excellence, and impact. We should all ensure that we commit not only for our personal sake, but for the betterment of all those around us, for the betterment of the human society at large. We should all ensure that we live our lives in such a way that we honor all those who have gone before us, who have invested in us. We should all brace in our hearts, no matter how high we reach in life, that we should not have ego. And we make sure that we do the smallest things right, such as to hold a door, to say please, to say thank you, to excuse ourselves. And I know that we've got mountains to climb in our lives, but we should all ensure that we stay humble and kind, and making sure each and every day we take on challenges and aim as high as possible. Quoting Rick Grigsby, good enough is not good enough if it can be better, and better is not good enough if it can be best. We should all understand that how we do anything is how we do everything. And as Aristotle did once say, you are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence ought to be a habit and not an act. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I wish you all the very best in all that is yet to come in your lives. I wish and pray in my heart to see all these beautiful souls at the very top of whatever streams you choose to pick. Now, it is our time to be great, to inspire and to grow, to encourage those around us, and to respect everyone. But most importantly, to find our purpose and meaning in our lives. And no matter what, to ensure that we end up doing what makes us proud in our lives. And as at any other time we would have come to this very auditorium, we would all walk out of these auditorium doors once the graduation is over. Yet, this time around, not knowing for certain when we would all meet again, hoping to see you all in a very better tomorrow. And this, folks, ends a 4-year-long journey, a dream. Good luck and congratulations, class of 22. Thank you, Recipients.
Thank you very much, Vihan. I would now like to welcome the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Australia, to the podium to deliver the charge to the graduates.
This time without losing my mask, I hope. So before I read the charge on behalf of the Council of Curtin University, I want to add my warmest congratulations to our graduates. The award certificate that you have received today recognizes the significant effort that you have made towards achieving your goal, so display it proudly. May I now ask the graduates to please stand. In conferral of your award by resolution of the University Council, I urge you as graduates of Curtin University to strive to embrace the university's values of integrity, respect, courage, excellence, and impact in all aspects of your professional and personal lives, to seek innovative and creative ways to enhance and serve your communities, and to use your knowledge, talent, skills, and passion to shape a better future for the global community. Thank you, graduates. Please be seated. Graduates, I strongly encourage you to remain part of the Curtin family by tapping into our many alumni activities. Please stay in touch through your Curtin email, which you can continue to use. Graduates, I wish you the very best for your future. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the official part of the ceremony. We are all extremely proud of the achievements of our graduates, and I ask everyone now to give our graduates a round of applause. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Professor Seth. On behalf of SLIIT, we would like to present a token of appreciation to Professor Seth Kunin, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Australia. I would like to invite Professor Lalit Gamage, Vice-Chancellor of SLIIT, to hand over the token of appreciation to Professor Seth Kunin. Thank you. I now invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global of Curtin University, Australia, Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor of SLIIT to sign the graduate register. Graduates, Thank you for choosing Curtin University and SLIIT. It has been our privilege to be a part of your education. This concludes the graduation ceremony. Please stand as the stage party retires. Thank you.